On September 16, 2022, a 22-year-old Iranian woman named Mahsa Amini, also known as Gina Amini, died in a hospital in Tehran. The Guidance Patrol, the religious morality police of Iran's government, arrested Amini for not wearing the hijab in accordance with government standards too loosely, showing some hair. Police, after transferring her to hospital, say she had a heart attack at the police station, collapsed, and fallen into the coma. Eyewitnesses, included women who were detained with the Amini, said she was severely beaten and that she died as a result of police brutality. Since then, an uprising of protests have taken place in solidarity with Mahsa Amini. This is not actually the first time women have protested hijab law in Iran. The Girls of Revolutionary Street movement in 2017 saw 29 people arrested for removing their hijabs. Mahsa's death resulted in a series of protests. Some female demonstrators removed their hijab or publicity cut their hair as an act of protest. By October 2022, Iran Human Rights reported that at least 185 people were killed by security forces confronting protesters across the country. Nika Shakarami, 16 years old protester, a teenage protester, whose mother alleged that security force murdered her in one of the highest profile cases of young people dying in the protests. Iranians are expressing a range of frustration over issues like the country's mandatory modesty law, the harsh restriction imposed on the people's political choice and speech, and the government's discriminatory practice against ethnic minorities. Politicians, celebrities, and artists and activists were among of those who put seizure to their look as a part of the movement of solidarity with the female protester in Iran. The question is how the rest of the world has to react. We want them to observe what is happening, not to turn a blind eyes. We want them to protect protesters. We cannot be identified about what is happening in Iran, and if we talk about protecting right of our citizens, we have to do something about it. I think that we have to hold Iran accountable. The world has to make it very, very expensive for Revolutionary Guard, for Iranian government to violate human rights so easily. It should be costly. Urgent international action needs to ensure accountability for Mahsa Amini death in custody. Iran President Ebrahim Raisi ordered to deny, destroying and cover up the news of Mahsa Amini's death by government and media in the country. Independent crime investigation need to establish cause and circumstances of death. Compulsory revealing law perpetuates violence against women. Reform is a must there. And last, but definitely not least, the world must not turn a blinded eyes to Iranian protester and the women who stand for the right. This is the biggest feminist movement in the history ever.